Hi, I'm Josh Hockman with Park Industries Customer Service Department. On this video, we are going to be talking about setting limits on the Yukon saw and utilizing your limits. So we'll come to our screen here and we'll go to our set limits page. And the first thing we're going to do is work with our zero z-axis. So you want your z-axis zeroed off of your table so that you can, it works for the plunging program, and once all of our other limits are set up, that's what it references off of. So if I bring my z-axis down until it just touches the tabletop, I will zero out my z-axis then. So if that's my zero position right at where the blade is just touching the tabletop, I'm going to start with setting my minus limit. So most people will be a 1/8 inch. Oh, clear my thing out here. An 1/8 inch cutting into their table. You can adjust that however you want there. If you only want to go a 1/16, or if you want to cut into your table a 1/2 inch, you can adjust that. Then our plus limit here is how to set how high you want your z-axis to go when you have your limits on. So if I just wanted, let's say roughly right there, you can set it so your blade, when you hit the z-axis up, it's only going to be 1 inch or 2 inches above the material. You can set that and use your set plus on there. And that will set that so when your limits are on, then your z-axis will only travel between those two positions. If you turn them off, then you can travel wherever you want to. You can go as low as the maximum distance would be, or as high as the maximum distance. You also do have a rodding limit right here that you can set, and you can toggle that on and off in the center here. And what the rodding limit is a secondary limit. So it was designed for if you're using rodding, like the rodding going around sinks or anything like that, you only cut that far down in. So if you wanted to stop your saw blade a 1/2 inch above your table, and it would stop right there, and that's all the deeper you wanted to cut into your material, you could just enter a 1/2 inch and then turn your rodding limit on, and we can come down and you'll see the z-axis position will stop at the 1/2 inch then. If I turn that off, now it will come down to my 1/8 inch into the tabletop. To set your x-axis positions, we have short and long limits here. So if I wanted to start, like let's say right where I'm sitting at the edge of the beginning of the table on the x-axis there, I could set my minus. And you can see it only changed the short limit because I'm set on short right now. Now if I just drive a couple inches forward, I can set my plus limit. And now if I turn on my limit here, I will be running off of my short axis. So it will only run in between 18.8 and 40.1 inches. If I want to utilize my whole table, all I have to do is hit off, and it will not utilize these limits. I can drive anywhere then. You also have long limits. If we switch our center button to long, you can set long limits. So let's say I wanted to start from whichever position I wanted to, I can come back to around my 18, set my minus, and or 14.9. And then I can set my limit for halfway through the table or wherever I want that, all the way on the other end of the table. And we can set the plus. So now if I'm on long limits, it'll only travel between 14.9 and 77 inches if I have that on. If I toggle this back to short, now it will only travel between 18.8 and the 40.1 position. So right now I'm out of the short limit position. It will travel back to the short limit position and into that area. But if I try going positive now again, you can see it will stop at the short limit. So that works very well if you're doing auto cutting and let's say you're cutting up a half slab and you want to just rip backsplashes. You can set up your auto cuts and only cut half your table. You're not waiting for the auto cuts to utilize the full table there. So that's kind of how you use the set limit screen. As always, if you have any questions, please give our customer service department a call and we'd be glad to help. Thank you.